I do believe we're live. So I'll say indeed and greetings upon you. Yes, you, beloved and holy friend. Thank you so much for joining me here again on 420. Like there's a part of me that doesn't necessarily subscribe to the whole months before days labeling or dating system, but we'll look past that and we'll celebrate 420 together. Thank you, friends, for joining me. Thank you for being alive in this moment. Day 475, it's 420 and we're still alive. I believe that's the title, and just thinking about this gratitude for being alive, this gratitude for having a plant chemical. Like I genuinely believe actually that cannabis has been one of the biggest things that has kept humanity semi-sane throughout this whole, epidemic and this separation that we've experienced. We had to connect with ourselves somehow. So I feel there's a few here that actually resonates. They're not big juicy ones, but they're definitely worth saying. This one goes, there is no loss, for nothing can be taken from you. May love direct each step. Simply be the presence of love. For fear is always the contraction away from love, and in being the truth, you will set yourself free. Creation then is waiting to move through me, through you, and hell is nothing more than a state of being stuck. Hmm? How's that? How does that feel? Just to think about. Hell, our conceptualization of hell to the most fundamental level, hell is actually just being stuck. And I genuinely think that cannabis in a lot of ways can help you when you're feeling stuck. It has the counter effect of helping you get stuck as well. It's all about how you use it and why you use it. And I've had so many experiences where I feel stuck, maybe in a certain pattern of like mindset or a certain pattern of feeling, and then I allow myself, a cannabis experience to feel a little bit unstuck and get reconnected with myself. But then if you do that in excess, I'm thinking about Isaac's words yesterday. If you do it in excess, it feels like you reach this point where now you're no longer just connecting with yourself, but you're at the same time disconnecting with the rest of self, with larger self. And it is this process of trying to find balance, and even though we're going to be smoking on stream today, we're going to be having a good time celebrating this beautiful, Mary Jane as well. I think I might be taking a break after the stream for a while again. I feel it's time. It's time. Truly yours. Thank you for joining me, friend. So nice having you here today. How are you feeling? How's life been treating you? What's going through your head? What's going through your head? Do you? I'm pretty sure you don't, but I'll ask nonetheless. Do you partake of Miss Marijuana? And if you do, how has she treated you? Like I want to talk about marijuana in the context of coping or feeling stuck, right? Like, legitimately, that was not my intention for today. But after reading that thing we're saying, and the last thing we're saying if we read it, you weren't here to hear it, is hell is nothing more than the state of being stuck. And we've gone through hell as a humanity, as a species, with this epidemic, where we had to be stuck. We stuck it ourselves, for the greater good, if you will. And a part of this stuckness, I believe that the global consumption of marijuana probably reached an all-time high, where more people are consuming weed on planet Earth right now than there has ever been consumed in the history of humanity. Right? Isn't that bonkers? Like, I think it's crazy. I think it's like ridiculous. And to me, it just shows that there is something going on, right? Like, marijuana can help you in so many ways. And I feel one of the best ways to help yourself with it is to be intentional with your use. But you can get stuck in a usage pattern as well. I've been stuck. I feel I'm stuck in a usage pattern right now. That's why, I want to experience this 420 day with you, friends. And then I want to take a little bit of a break again. Get myself unstuck, if we will. Oh man, I feel stuck AF. Supermeister, what have you been going through, friend? Is it like, are you feeling stuck in your current circumstance? Are you feeling stuck in your current relationship, your current job, your current environment, your current, hobbies, or your things that you keep doing perpetually? Where do you feel stuck, friend? Like, maybe we can find out together. It's 420 people, what the fuck's up? Isaac, I was just channeling you, brother Bay. Thank you for joining us. So nice to have you here. Love to all the more friends. Oh, I love that so much. Love to you. Love to you. Thank you so much for joining us, brother Ryan. Thank you for this yoga session today, man. Like, I got to read your message just before going live. I've been having these ideas, like to have a sound healing app that has all of the different instruments and all of the different like stringed instruments, keyed instruments, bowls, little, Tibetan, like the works, right? And then being able to select them and then having different input nodes, like on a screen, like different buttons that you can press, having echo settings, having looping settings, having recording settings, having like the dispersion, like different modulators. I'm just like, my mind doesn't want to stop, but I'm imagining all of these different layers that you can use to make music with basic sounds, and like be able to take someone through a journey. And then he shares with me that he's already doing that, and it makes me so happy for the Bay. That's why, like, the first thing that I said as well is like, I don't care if I get any credit for the idea, as long as the idea happens, and people actually have access to that stuff. That's where it's at. Gateway Process. Hello to you, friend. Thank you for joining us, Shannon. So nice to have you here as well. Some truth, right there. Some truth, right here. In your heart, or in your chest, rather. Thank you, Shannon, for joining me here. It's so nice to have you, friends. COVID, pretty. COVID was pretty poggers for the weed consumption. I feel I feel like, Isaac is even more unhinged than I was this whole day. Like, sorry friends, I'm feeling pretty wild. They even says it himself, no apologies whatsoever, dude. Because like I've been feeling that way the whole day. So for example, like I even took a video of it. I made myself a coffee, and then I went and I sat outside of the coffee, and the coffee was standing in the sun. And the way that the sun hit the coffee there, and me leaving it for a little bit, the heat would bring up like particles, and those particles would like fold into themselves, and they were these crevices and like little fractal expressions, moving across the surface of all, just below the surface of the coffee. And I'm like, oh goodness, like, yes, life, what are you doing? Why are you so beautiful? And I'm just like fascinated looking at this. And I take a video and I send it to Christian, and he asks me, are you high? I'm like, not any higher than I always am, like I guess there's a lot of high people in the world right now. It is 420 after all. So maybe I'm, being influenced by that, maybe channeling that a little bit. So no apologies, Isaac. I'm in that same chain with you, Brother Bear. Mr. Charles says, hello everyone, stay safe today. And don't snack too much. I don't think I will. I'm trying to really, oh man, I'm trying to get my diet tuned in, but I only have that much capacity to eat food, unfortunately. Like I want to eat more variety, but if I eat more variety, that's so much volume, and I cannot fit that much volume in my being. If only. Like I'm imagining all of the vegetables I should be eating in a day, collapsed into like a single little puck, and then me being able to put that puck into the food I'm already cooking. Mm. Sorry, friends. Again, I feel pretty wild today. Apologies for any of the spice I bring. One way to get unstuck is to lean into the chaos, break those imaginary chains, and start spiritually flailing like a toddler. Yeah, I like that. I bounced out of bed today and started on the yoga ball. My spirit is feeling bouncy today and loving all of you incredibly today. Be good to yourselves. Thank you so much for that encouragement, Brother Bear. On that note, even though it's 420, I think the intention we're smoking for isn't necessarily to escape, isn't necessarily to feel less, but just to be good to ourselves, right? Even though smoking in and of itself mightn't be good for us, we're doing it with the intention of it being good for us. It's gonna be good for me. It's gonna be the best. Yes, I'm hyping myself. That'll do it. Oh, golly goodness. Please, Mrs. Mary. I'm sorry. Please. Yeah. Okay. I think she's laying up. I stand and corrected. In this moment, let's take just a second to appreciate who we are. You know, you, as your ego, as your person, as your persona, as the me you think of when you say, this is me, right? You have a photo of a bunch of people, you point at someone, and you say, this is me. Think about that person right now. Think about how much that person has been through, how much you've been through, how many times that person has felt stuck, and how, in comparison, free you are right now. Feel into the security of where you're sitting or standing. Feel into the security of the next breath waiting for you. You can hold your breath if you want to, but the next breath will always be there waiting. We're allowing this moment to be good to ourselves. We're allowing this moment of quiet, security, and stability to be good to ourselves. Ermias Plur. I actually yesterday Googled again what Hermes means, and it means actually God will uplift. That's the technical correct meaning. God will uplift peace, love, unity, and respect. The Hermes Purple Cup. Just allowing myself to be a little bit more rooted in understanding, a little bit more rooted in the choices I'm making and the intentions I'm setting for myself and for others. And realizing I can do that because I have the stability of this moment. I can choose in this moment to help instead of to hurt, to love instead of to judge, to give instead of to take, and to experience instead of being inexperienced. Now, these things can make you feel things. Just spending a moment with them. Both what you've thought about, what you've experienced, and how you felt about those thoughts and experiences. Be willing to ask if the things you feel aversion to are signs from your highest self or fears because of your lowest self. You have the answers, friend. All you have to do is ask the right questions and allow yourself to feel. Your life is equal in greatness and significance to any other life. Your life is equal in greatness and significance to any other life. There is no separation in that either. Your experience, you as a person, is the most creative process that could have ever been. And you are it. You are actively the paint and the painter. The canvas and the art. Allow yourself to believe that you've wanted this. You have willed this. This experience you're having, regardless of the stories you can't tell yourself about it in any given moment. Just think about how crazy, complicated, intricate, infinitely variable each and every single one of our lives are. And that complexity and variability is moment by moment. It doesn't change. Your awareness is the constant. And being aware, you elicit this infinity that we're a part of. It is absurd. The more I think about it, the more my mind melts. It's like, okay. Thank you, friends, for being good to yourself, for living into your compassionate heart, for loving yourself enough to love others, for finding reasons to trust people, for smiling yourself and for making others smile as well. We share that same heartbeat. In this moment, every single one of us has that. Also, another constant. Sine wave. Collapse into infinity. Got you. Oh, baby. Think about what being open to listening means to you in your relationships, in your life, in your family. What does listening mean to you? In this moment, asking for the wisdom to know what to say. Sometimes we might know the right answer to something, but it might not be the right time to say it. Or maybe there could be a better way to say it. And you spending more time thinking about it might give you more capacity to say it. There's I think another I guess thing worth saying that I read today. I didn't write it down yet. It goes a moment where you give in to anger is a lifetime of regret. And anger is something that I feel can be a very healthy response. But unfortunately, we don't have a world where anger is something that's, as I say, fortunately, anger is not tolerated towards other people. And in that way, there is this externalization of just anger at the world, right? Like anger at existence itself, anger at just being. And it's painful. And unfortunately, we as human beings are set up to say things that make others feel the way that we do. So realizing that that is why people say things. That is why you say things sometimes. Every single time you say something to someone, you're creating a whole fractal in their brain. Every word has a whole fractal of connection. You can go and look it up in a dictionary. Every one of those other words is like a little fractal in your brain. You understand what those words mean in sequence, which means that there is a fractal in your brain for what that understanding means. And then it goes up. And then it influences that person in their next day. And then a year from that day when they think about it again. And then 10 years again when they think about it again. A moment. One moment of you being able to say something to someone. Being angry can be healthy, but we shouldn't be angry at each other. Being able to have the insight is definitely a gift we would like to ask for, right? Being able to see when anger is appropriate and being able to see when it's just an ego fluctuation. Realizing that at the end of the day, we are all just beautifully interconnected. We can never separate ourselves from any of it. But life is something, huh? I think it's watching. It is. You know what that bird is doing? It's actually raiding the guinea pigs' home. You want to see some guinea pigs? Sure. Why not? Right? Let's do it. My sister, for some reason, wanted guinea pigs, and then this whole thing was constructed. Yes. It's something. It is something. They're interesting creatures. I don't see the point, but I guess I guess my sister gets to feed something. Like I don't know if I should ask her about that. I guess that would just be, unnecessary conflict. Would it be conflict? See, now I get to ask. Okay. Hello everyone. I think I've missed a few on the YouTube as well. Hey, Aiden, I'm a little late. I forgot what time it was. I already smoked a few balls. Aiden, freaking been shooting in, dude. I feel like you've been channeling, some energy, man. I didn't even have to smoke today to feel pretty loopy. A beautiful day to be indeed. Lamau. I cannot smoke till the afternoon. If I do, that's basically a wrap for the day. That happens, and then you have like a midday weed nap, and then you're rejuvenated, you can go again. We're constantly changing, dissolving, evolving, melting down. Every new moment is a new us. Every breath is just the first breath. Aiden, oh, I feel it. Thank you so much for the love, brother bear. A moment when you give into anger is a lifetime of regret. it's it's something that I feel happens so regularly. There's a little bug in the water again. Two of them. I think there's a third one. There we go. Still good. Sorry, friends. I'm feeling pretty well. Now again, brother Bear. Happy 420, everyone. Mariah, happy 420 to you. Thank you so much. Diana, nice to have you here as well, friend. I like that one, Javan. Thank you so much, Javan. What hurts me is seeing those who don't realize they're in that state of pain, projecting aimlessly, and receiving that projection, trying to keep it from shattering my light. We're powerful people. We can rise above reaction. The goal is to actively live with intention. Siobhan so beautifully said that intention of love, like just trying to be the expression of love in a moment, for your family members. Like it's been such a difficult experience. Like I don't even really want to share much of it. I'll share the footnotes. There was a conversation I had last night about my opinion on the reality of relationships. So there was information shared that a youth pastor who is now dating a 20-year-old. Like I think he is as old as I am. So he's 24, she is 19 or 20 right now as well. But now they're getting married. So I mentioned that the only reason that you would try and marry that quickly is if you're abstaining from sex. And my dad's like, yeah, like he agrees with me, right? And I'm like, so that's one thing I say. And the second thing is, you shouldn't be marrying someone if you haven't lived with them for at least a year. At least that's my opinion. Because if you've lived with someone for a year, you know what it's like to live with them for a year. So you can actually make an educated decision on living with one another forever, you know? And then they have been like dating for like 7 months or something, and she's living with her mom this whole time. She's never lived with herself in her life. She, she's never, worked a job. She, like there's just so many layers of. I don't think she knows how to be a person yet, and now she's getting married, right? Right? Am I? And I'm just like, don't you think? Don't you think that's a bad thing? And my dad feels like he's encouraging this. He's like, yeah, this is a good thing that's happening. I'm like, I don't really think so. And then it got into this conversation of what the Bible says, what rules. And there's this conversation about the Bible doesn't actually say that having sex before marriage is a sin. But then my dad like quotes this one line, and it says something about fornicators. I believe that's the word they use. No fornicators will reach the heavens. And I'm like, yeah, I hear you, but it also goes into like talking about homosexuality, and I'm like, how is that? And they say specifically their wording is, uh, homosexuality practitioners or something like that, like it's a practice, like it's an exercise. And it's so obviously written by a person, and that's the statement that I make. I'm like, yeah, I hear that you believe that this is a rule written by, this entity that you give your power to, but do you realize that that is a person, in the world that they were in, that was seen as something that, was absolutely unacceptable. But some of the most beautiful people I've met in my life happen to be people who are homosexuality practitioners. And I'm like, how can you just say that? How can, because this stands in the Bible, and then it gets into this conversation of like, oh, you can have homosexual thoughts, but giving into them, that is where the sin starts. And I'm like, okay, so you're supposed to live your whole life pretending not to be yourself so that you can earn this eventual heaven. But that's like, yes. I'm like, okay, but and it's just this a little bit of a back and forth. And I noticed that my intention was to try and share love, but there was a combativeness within me, and I'm trying to get to that part. Like I'm trying to unroot it. The combativeness doesn't help. It doesn't help me. It doesn't help the situation. I can do better. Please help me do better, universe. Thank you, friends, for being here with me, for helping me do better as well. Responding, not reacting, is something I've been spending a lot of time meditating on. Of course, you say that directly after a mini rant. Thank you for being so in tune, Mata Bay. You're well. How are you, Mel Carta? Thank you. Happy 420 to you, Fred. I'm doing well. I'm actively learning. I'm actively learning. I'm still, like maybe like level 44. And like the upper cap is like level 10 billion, so I'm like, yeah. Climbing that mountain. Ooh. How about you, Fred? How are you doing? How's life been treating you since the last time we seen you? Alexandra, I just returned from 5 days meditating in the mountains. Of course you did. How was that, friend? Like, dude, please tell me about the sounds. Tell me about the smells. Tell me about the way that the soil looked. Tell me about the rocks that you saw. Tell me about the most beautiful tree you saw. If there were any, please. I'm so curious. Thank you for sharing a little bit of like a fractal into your world, Alexandra. I love the name, by the way. That sounds like a beautiful experience. It really does, Jovan. I can't give you more. And thank you for being here with us, my friend. It's so nice having you here. My intention for my bowl today was look at your environment like a playground. Hmm. So I did that for like how many ever seconds that was, and it got reduced into the office parkour, parkour, parkour meme where I'm just like, yeah, parkour, parkour, parkour. Thank you. I say for that, I appreciate that, friend. That applies both spiritually and physically for me. I've been fairly stuck physically lately, but leaning into even my small apartment and the nature outside. How much time are you spending in stillness, like actually just sitting down, not moving? Like I feel like that is also something that is really an interesting practice, like being in complete stillness. Like it does something to you as well. Thank you for sharing with it, babe. Right now, I'm using cannabis to help me sleep, but fairly recently, I was using it too much and found it's good to take breaks. Actually, the way that I'm starting to feel about it is that maybe the ideal usage pattern would be 1 week off and then 1 day in like a I don't know how to say it, in a meditative fashion or spirit, to smoke as much as you can and then to meditate with that. That is like something that Terence McKenna originally said. It was his recommendation. And I feel like there is really a lot of value in it because the experience you get with that tolerance break and then that really high spike, and it's not something that will kill you or is bad for you. And because you give yourself so much time in between, your synapses have a better time of recovering, and the receptors don't get overloaded, and you don't actually start to grow like stimuli differences, and it's more endocannabinoid receptors, less endocannabinoid receptor response. Like there's so much stuff happening at all times in your body. It's absolutely ridiculous. But being able to kind of like get the most of that stuff, it's quite something. It's quite something. And then you can like pair that with breath work. Like cannabis and breath work also have, quite something there. Like you automatically breathe a little bit shallower when you usually smoke weed. Like it's a like that's a sedative effect on your lungs as well. And if you kind of like actively or mindfully try to breathe with a little bit more intensity, it's quite an experience. Nature outside holds it all. All of infinity, Brother Bay, so completely. I feel that, friend. I'm about to take a break. I've been in a deep, looking at it like a festival for my body, though, just coming to a close. It's so crazy how we're in like the same synchronicities of that as well, Brother Bay. It's the ebb and the flow, and we're just in tune. We're just listening to ourselves. We're respecting, this experience, life, the things we experience life with as much as we can. Just FYI, tomorrow is National Drug Test Day. Oh no. Oh goodness, they're going to come and take my job. Charles, what if I lose my job? What if they get. Hey, Coco, thank you for joining me, friend. It's nice to have you. How are you doing? It's so nice to have you here. How's life been? How have you been treating yourself? Please do let us know. We made it. Love these lives. Happy 420 all. It's nice to have you here, Chill Sage. Thank you for joining us, friend. Well, I've come a long way in my 420 journey from hosting 420 rallies where we would smoke in parks while it was illegal in front of the cops to help open an illegal dispensary to seeing it legalized in my country to now even knowing it's 420. I should smoke a joint today. Eden, if you feel called to that, if it's like a thing you want to experience, do that. 100%. It definitely is the day. It's bicycle day as well, isn't it? So there's like layers to it. Some cool stuff. Oh man, we live in such a synchronous universe, and love is the key. If you want to be more in tune, all you have to do is love. It is. It's so easy. It's really. It's not that complex, but there's so many infinities attached to that love that we can experience all of them. Yes. Otherwise, philosophers would run out of a job. Great. Doing great, Meltmore. Pushing the exercise lately. Good, Coco. That's so good. I'm happy to hear that, friend. Me too. The exercise has been something that has been really like a real a test of my current condition. I think that's the best way to say it. Like I feel in my current body fat percentage, my body is a lot more susceptible to nutrient fluctuations. So if I'm not taking care of myself properly, my body lets me know significantly quicker now. It's like, like it's a response of like, okay, thank you, I get it. Like I had an a surreal experience last night, just listening to myself about my food choices, and I realized that there is balance that needs to be had there as well. And it makes it easier every single time I realize that. It's like this reinforcement of that understanding, that little fractal. Thank you, Eden, for being here with us. Lisa joining us as well. Friends, new and old, I love you all just as you are, for exactly who you are right now. Lisa, as we do you, thank you so much for that beautiful message, friend. Natalie, Meltmore, all the best to you too. Fred, thank you so much for that. What are you doing, bro? What am I doing? I am breathing. Yes. Thank goodness. I'm still breathing. So we got that down, and then I guess, digesting food. I'm processing information constantly. How about you? How about you, Fred? Proud of you, friend. Just push the moment forward, looking at that power. Happy you're here. Happy to have you here as well. Thank you so much, Isaac Brother Bear. It's nice to have you always. Definitely didn't do it alone, but I think it's quite a happy memory. What a trip. Love. Such a love. Yeah, it's so true, Brother Bear. Mel, love you, brother. Love you, Lisa. Thank you so much. Charles, my heart is one of the coolest biological entities. Never takes a break. When my time comes to leave the earth, I will have a heart to heart, pun intended, and thank it for all that it has done for me. Mm. Just spent the moment thanking my heart. It's kind of surreal. Thank you, Charles, for that. And you're so right. It's the first part of you that actually starts as a moving force in you. But dope, but dope. Since you were like that big, pumping nutrients through your being, making sure every single cell of you is constantly fed. No single 3 cells is away from a blood vessel, right? So 1, 2, 3, blood vessel. 1, 2, 3, blood vessel. All of your cells being empowered right now by your heart. It's wild. It's wild. Without your heart, nothing goes. Realizing that, like on a just on a physical level, makes you think about it from a conscious level as well. Thinking about your heart is the center of your consciousness. Thanking that. Thanking you, Charles, for being that expression as well, Brother Bear. Thank you. Environmental Bat, thank you for joining us as well, friend. Hello to you. One cook today, feeling pride and love for wonderful bananas today. He's been Mr. Mom for the past day and a half. I finally saw a hand specialist and I had some painful injections. I don't do anything with this stupid hand. So, he's stepped up as mom and done it all. Love is true, Eden. Thank you for being that expression right now. I really appreciate that. Melt, have the spare love and energy that has been overflowing towards me on the anniversary of my trip around the sun. Happy birthday to you, Natalie. Thank you so much for sharing with us the opportunity to celebrate you. Woo! Natalie went around the sun. Woo! On such a like a momentous day as well. Oh, cool. I like my brother as a friend. Actually, it's a weird context, but it's just crazy, that these things happen. My brother has this friend Luke. He was here the last time I told you friends that my brother has a friend over, and he had this event last night where he just was like kind of out of it, where he couldn't, say much, and they took him to the hospital and they scanned him. Fortunately, nothing was wrong, but it was a scary event, and his birthday is today as well. So, it's just a weird synchronicity. Thank you for allowing me to even bring it up, Natalie. I appreciate your love, your presence, your ability to just be such a beautiful being in this world. Thank you for everything you are. Please continue being you. We need you exactly as you are. Thank you for that bit of you, Melt. You continue to reinforce these truths to the world every day. It is seen, it is appreciated, and it is loved. Thank you, friend. I hope you lean into these truths and enjoy them today. Thank you so much for the bay. I feel very melty. I think is the least I could say. A 420 baby, a 420 baby. You made me cry. That's beautiful. You are as well, Lisa. That beauty is expressed in you, friend. You're the one eliciting that beauty. It's you. It's all you. It's your birthday. It is. Thank you so much for the love. And it lands on our Pan Day this year. It really does. We get to celebrate you from the OG side. Where is this? South Africa. The normal response doesn't work. I'm leaning. Look, all of South Africa. Like if you really are good at imagining behind this stone wall, there is all of South Africa. I promise. You can take a bet. Well, god dang, happy birthday to you, beautiful, loving friend of mine. I mean, I like that. Thank you so much for that, Isaac. Thank you. I'm recycling love back and asking people to pay forward their love. Thank you so much for like creating this, what can we call it? Melting snow? No, no, no. Maybe like yeah, I like melting snowball. It's counterintuitive. You're like, excuse me, what do you mean a melting snowball? Like the snowball effect? Yes, but it's melting. Yes. But how does that work? It's not supposed to make any sense. Not even the words coming out of my mouth are supposed to make any sense. It's all ridiculousness. And the one truth in it is love. Have me funny, exaggerated images of riding the planet around the sun with you guys. Like spinning through space. Woo! What an experience. What an experience it is. And there's so much of it. Oh goodness. Like the amount of infinities. Right? Like you can spend a day in like a 10 meter by 10 meter block going and looking at individual things. If you have like a microscope or like a magnifying glass or something, you can just be like, look at this thing. Spend a day doing that, and you will have an experience that whole day doing that. And then think about just how big our planet is. And then our planet being like a specular speck on a speck like galaxy, our galaxy being a speck on a speck in the universe. Like it's the surreality of the fact that we are here. and we're calm and conscious, and we're experiencing like moments of tranquility, I feel like I am flying out of this world right now. It's like I'm just barely holding on to what experience is supposed to be, and clicking onto what experience could be. What the hell? I feel like I have absolutely no idea what I'm saying. Yes. Yes. Channel it. Channel it. I know nothing. I actually know nothing. Oh, and I don't need to, because here we are. Even if we don't know anything, everything is in place. My next breath has been waiting for me. The beat, what the heartbeat that was, the heartbeat that is, the heartbeat that will be. Your infinity. Man, being a human is weird. Being a human is so cool. There's so many nuances to it. Like, and I wonder how much complexity there actually is to the stuff we experience, but they happen in such a moment of like clarity that you don't feel the need to try and record it or be able to recreate it in a narrative way, or you know, film it or something like that. So there is so much experience of the infinity that is the most pure part of our humanity that gets unnoticed because it's so pure that it doesn't even see the light. You know, like how crazy is that? Like, is that idea even? I wonder where our world would be if they didn't make psychedelics illegal. I'm really curious. Do you think we would be better off at this point? Do you think we weren't ready then? Do you think that there might have actually been benefits to the war on drugs? Just asking that question. It's a hard, right? Yo. So where would we have been with all that, funds that has been channeled into this war, with all that human suffering, with all that harm produced instead of harm reduction? And then noticing that we are now literally on the other side of that infinity, where psychedelics are now being made legal in states, right? In entire countries, soon the whole world. And there's going to be an explosion of people allowing themselves to consciously evolve. And we're going to have to. There's no other way. The only way to survive is to evolve. And evolution doesn't mean you're going to turn into a gray, big eyed alien. It just means that you're going to be more of yourself instead of the projection that the world wants you to be. That's what's necessary. We need to become the expression of ourselves, the love that is within us, our genius, our divinity, our experience of the whole, because you are the experience of the whole, and your experience is necessary. You get to show us something from a whole different universe's perspective that none of us have, and we get to share those perspectives now in a way that we've never been able to. It is surreal, the fact that we are allowed so much, so much beautiful experience. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, friends. I love guinea pigs. Me too. I've only been allowed to see guinea pigs, like by friends or in pet shops. Like we've never gotten any guinea pigs. I feel I would like guinea pigs more than the I like to call them spijkermeisa, which basically translates into nail rats. No, nail mice. Technically, technically it's nail mice, but it sounds very weird when you say it like that. Like maybe spiky mice. That would be the direct translation. Spiky mice, spiky mice. And yeah, I mean it's like they're cute. They're kind of cute, but they are spiky. And a guinea pig is nice and fluffy. Like my mind is now just generating these fractals of like guinea pigs running in these beautiful little straight lines. And I don't know if they're trained to do that or if that is just what they like to do. I think it might be that they actually like to walk in little straight lines with one another, but it's such a cute thing in my mind. These things, however, I do actually admire their exploratory nature. They're really curious and they're like constantly scouting their environment, and climbing up on top their little cages and then peering, spelling in the air. And I like to feed them. Like my sister fed them, with the shot that I showed you. But I like to feed them, and I put like all of the little pellets in the grass and stuff, and then they get to walk around and almost like hunt. In my mind, it's like the closest thing to hunting, like easy mode hunting, right? So I kind of like admire them for that, but I don't necessarily pick them up ever. I don't think I've picked them up in months. I get some work, but I'm listening. Thank you. I have some work. It's okay, Lisa. Thank you for sharing love, even a moment, friend. Mm, 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 mm. I love that image, Joe. It's beautiful. Buns are fluffy. They really are beautiful. Like just fluffy things in general. I can't even imagine, anything cuter. Just deleted most of my Facebook friends, but I don't even keep in touch with and those who I don't really know. Realizing I hardly even know anyone, Lamar. Kartha, I've noticed the same. Like I feel I don't use my Facebook's birthday feature. Really. Like there is a weird duality in me when it comes to birthdays. When I was in China, I turned 21 and 22 completely alone, right? And like I turned 21 in a like the first part of the journey, if you will. And it was this experience of like the Hollywood idealized what a 21 birthday looks like, and how many friends you're supposed to have, and the family around you, and the financial implications. And there's just like so much stuff, like societal stuff in my it was embedded in my consciousness at that point. And I was just like literally melting that shit away, like complete acceptance, surrender to that experience, eating cake with a spork, like peach cream and vanilla cake with a spork, that my kindergarten teachers, co-teachers bought for me. And I was just like, what does this day even mean? I was like, what is this birthday? Why I've been here. I've been here so many times. And now there's this expectation as I'm eating this cake of a spork. And there was this whole time difference of me being in China. So I've gone through most of my day before anyone in South Africa was even awake. Right? So there was that added layer of it. So like, there was just so much stuff. And then my 22nd birthday came along, and I was still in China. And at this point, I was supposed to be out of China, but it was during that time that the epidemic started and they grounded all flights. So I wasn't allowed to leave the country, even though my passport expired. and they like extended it by 2 months for all foreigners because of the long delays. It was surreal. I was like, oh, okay, universe. Patience, huh? All right. I have to practice patience, do I? And then I turned 22 there. And I remember, going up to the rooftop and just sitting and looking over this expanse and just being in that moment of realizing how a year has passed and all of these things that I've been through, as brutal as they may have been, I wouldn't change it. I mean, like, it's one of those acceptance, again, surrender moments, and it just was a true surrender in that at that point. Like the previous time it was self-pitying surrender, and at that point it was like a genuine, okay. I actually surrender this time. I'm like, okay, you got me. I didn't win though. I had to stay 3 months longer. I only got to leave at was it the 26th of August? And was it the 26th of August? I think so. Yeah. I've never had more relief in my entire life. Like Melita said something beautiful, where she goes, the prize, or I think it was a meme, where someone asked for relief, and then it gives like a prompt, like like relief only comes with pain. You have the pain if you want the relief when it alleviates. It's such an experience sometimes. Both sides of the infinity as well. I can still imitate the sound of guinea pigs from having them in my childhood. So freaking beautiful. I wish I could hear you make that sound right now. Jack, it's so true. The truth is in you. Thank you, friend, for joining us. What's the point of 420? It's just a day where people come together and celebrate, friend. It's something that, people can tune into a frequency with. How much for that, Jovan? In the YouTubes. Wait a second. Is that a how? Na 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 na. No. Is that the sound? How much for the puppy in the window? How much for the puppy in the window? How much for the Jovan in the window? Is that how it goes on the YouTubes? Happy for 20, buddy. Thank you, Chess. Thank you so much, friend. That is why I was so terrible that DJT had the platform he did, all those fractals still healing. Mm. Jack, I have absolutely no idea what you're talking about, but your comment still made me feel something. So I appreciate you, friend. Love you, Reddit Fab, as we love you. Thank you so much, Jovan, for allowing us to love you, friend. Hardly even know anyone, Lamar. We know you, Kartha, and you know us, friend. As much as two people can know one another and be willing to spend some time with one another, we want to know you at least. That is something you can say that your Facebook friends can't say. We actually want to know you. Tell us more about you, Cartha. Give us, please. We're hungry for Cartha. That makes the sweetest noises and the popcorning. Good, love it. I'm hoping Fruit Cup will ask for one someday. Oh, okay. Thank you for saying that. Actually, manifesting some information. Little kid is like, oh, you're just like showing your kid, look at this on your phone. Look, isn't this cute? Don't you think this is so cute? Don't you want one of these? Uh, isn't that a lot of work? I'll do the work. Don't you want one? Mom, do you want one? No, you. I want leverage. Go on, give me some leverage. Thank you so much, Eden. We appreciate you being here. We've really missed you, my friend. So much love to you and the Fruity fan. Magnum, hey, you look like Heath Ledger. You look like you can recognize patterns, friend. I like that. Can I encourage you to recognize this pattern, like for the rest of the day, if you're still here? Look for an infinity symbol. Okay. Everywhere you look, Look for the pattern of infinity. Flash, is the flash boom? Look for the infinity, friend. You're gonna see so much more. So Heath Ledger is, in the same way, part of that infinity, friend. So yes, you're still right, technically. It's a one of one, my own experience, sit with me for a lifetime, and there won't be enough words to explain it all in entirety. Oh, Kartha. Feels like you stole words right out of my brain, friend. Yeah, I couldn't even say them better myself. Exactly. But at least we know that about one another. And that's why we're doing this into infinity. So even if, like, we're gonna run the practice, if anybody can't figure out how to know someone with an infinity, we'll be like, maybe, maybe, but maybe not. Probably not. Let's see. If you lived with someone for a year, you know what it's like to live with them for a year. The weed was. If you live with someone. Thank you so much, Isaac. I love that, friend. I feel everyone is this way. No two exactly the same. Isn't love really just wanting to learn as much as you can about another? And to learn in learning about another, about yourself, friend. You know, again, unity separated to experience reunification. It's like it's a paradox. You being in this male side of the infinity, there being this female side of the infinity, or however you choose, you get to have those two sides of the infinity with someone else, and that becomes this reunification, where you get to reflect yourself through a person and they reflect back to you, get to stare into someone's eyes, you get to spend moments of intimacy with them. It is an experience of like trying to get to know yourself in the deepest of ways. And we do it with everyone. That's why everyone is the teacher. Like, even if you don't agree with what someone says, they can teach you something about yourself just by you seeing something, paying attention to how it is you're feeling, asking yourself why you're feeling these things, really spending a moment of reflection of everything creates so much more of that, again, infinite patterns. You're like, oh, and then this, oh, of course, and then that, oh, goodness, that as well. No, please, that, oh, goodness, that's too much. No, come on, that can't be true. Even, is that right? Yeah, it's also okay, fine. There are interesting characters. Then there are the true great ones. I must know everything about. Feel everyone is this way. Kartha. Oh goodness, friend. Like, I like that you say that, because I feel like there's so many different ways to try and experience someone's fractal to get to know someone. And now in this age where we're in, we're going to have more bandwidth to be ourselves, to express ourselves than we've ever had before. So the capacity to be able to know someone, to see someone, is going to grow. And it's going to be pretty cool, I think. I would love to see some guinea pigs. Me too, friend. We don't have any, unfortunately. I feel like I've found someone who is potentially someone I'd like to grow with. But I suppose time will tell. Kartha, yes, it will, friend. Yes, it will. That's the only thing that will, and patience, again, is that lesson. It's like, oh, are you patient enough? It's my birthday. We have 2 birthdays today. Well, three plus my brother's friend. So 3 birthdays today of people that I've, met and get to interact with. Happy birthday to you, friend. We have a friend whose birthday is as well, in the Reddit stream. So thank you, Susie, for allowing us to celebrate with you. Congratulations on making another revolution. Puppy, puppies. Susie. Oh, it's cathartic. Early birthday, cathartic guild. Happy birthday to you, Susie. Thank you so much, my friend, for sharing some love, for allowing us to share some love of you. My wavelengths aligned, at least. Hard to explain the feeling other than that. You don't need to your truth. Live into your moment. You got this. Taurus Squad. Taurus Squad, Kartha. Yeah, my birthday is soon. Real soon, actually. It's gonna be good, friend. I look forward to celebrating with you. Here we go. It's nice to have you here, Lanky Membership. Thank you for joining us. No, I take that back. You look like a bum. What you say? That you only meant well. Well, of course you did. How dare you, friend? Can't say stuff like that. Bro, get a job. This is my job, Magnum. This is my job, dude. Manifestation is real. It's actually real. And you get to see it. You get to actually be part of it. You are a part of that manifestation of the infinity, friend. You are here for a reason. You have manifested yourself into this moment. Why? Why do you think so? Kind of a peculiar question, but what does 222 mean to you, Meltmore? To me, it's just duality, right? So it's just this understanding of the infinity. So the oneness is like a recognition of the one drop, at least to me. So that initial, center point, and then the two is like the recognition of that duality within you, at least to me, and then it's just like a repeating of that. So I like to Google as well, just to go and look it up, and you can do it until you feel something, right? Like that is noise. It's like scribbles that generate little fractals in your head. That is noise, and then you elicit patterns from those fractals. And if you boom, get that recognition that like, I feel this, then you're like, okay, good. Thing felt about numbers, and then you can go on with your day. I feel, and it's also something that you should feel called to. Like if you've seen something with enough frequency where you're like, okay, this one, I need to see what it means. Then go and look, see what it feels like, if you will, and then spend a moment of that and then leave it. I feel like it's something we can obsess over. Like, and I feel parts of myself, the less I've obsessed about it, the more it started to happen, which is counterintuitive. But at this point, it's just like, oh, okay. 34 again. Okay, cool. 44 again? Sure. Why not? 33? Yeah, sure. 55? Yeah. Multiple times. 11? Yeah. All right. Ching, ching, ching. Always in those 11, 22, of course. Always in those little, patterns. You are in tune. On the most fundamental level, that's what those numbers mean to me. It's like you are in tune. You got this. Mel, we have the same birthday on 14 May. Gateway, thank you for sharing that with me. I look forward to having that birthday with you then, friend. Maybe we can celebrate together. The Chincha, happy 420 to you. Thank you, friend. Quiet, my young fellow. No, Magnum. My voice will not be silenced. Happy 420. Thank you, friend. Happy 420 to you as well. What gives you the right to try and force this kind man to get a job? He is living his life to the fullest, said Soviet Salaman. Yes, thank you, Soviet. I appreciate your love, friend. Exactly, exactly, exactly. Jinja. Absolutely. Still a psychedelic after all. It really is, friend. It definitely is. And especially if you're doing it intentionally, right? Like if you're setting these intentions, you're like, okay, I'm doing this, but I'm doing this because I'm asking this question, or I'm feeling into this nature of myself, or I'm asking to experience such and such. And then you're like, okay, yes, here it is. Arida. What? What? me is Blur. Man, yeah, man. Think about people in the Middle East that force marriage on teenagers who didn't even previously know each other. Like, what? That's not gonna go well. It never. Well, I mean, in those arranged marriages, it's always something that those people basically have to figure it out. It's like a it's like a roll of the dice type of thing. It's like, yeah, just like throw these people in on the deep end, and then people drown. Like that's not how you do it. You can't do that to people, yo. And it's like something that I feel hurts me from a perspective of human autonomy. Like you being able to make your own choices is of the most value because then you're living your fractal. You're experiencing the pathway that you're supposed to experience to get to your truth, and other people choosing what your truth is going to be. I feel you bring so much. Ugh, like I don't know anything, of course, but I don't think that is good for you. Even on a psychological level, maybe they don't even think about it. Is that possible? Goodness, I don't know. I don't want to think about it anymore. That fractal doesn't feel good. I still sit for at least an hour a day, all the time. I just stop working and I meditate until an email goes off or something. Sometimes it's about 20 minutes. That's perfect, friend. That genuinely is perfect. Does it help? How do you feel afterwards? And like, how much of that do you spend, focusing on your breathing? Definitely. Das Bait, friend. Thank you for being so in tune. Hi to you, ebook. Thank you for joining us, friend. You are a great actor. Trying movies. I hopefully one day, friend. It is something that we've been manifesting for a while now. So hopefully one day we'll see where the infinity takes us. I'm open to whatever life may provide. I don't have any expectations. I'm just gonna be gonna keep breathing and gonna make sure I have food in my body. I'm gonna exercise and take care of myself. Them damn fractals, man, them damn fractals. Everywhere, that's mate. They're just, non-stop and ceaseless. You, as that fractal in this moment as well. Bulky zucchini, South African. South African it is, friend. You're completely right. Happens a lot in America and Jewish culture too. It's crazy. It's unacceptable. I feel it being like accepted on the guise of it. This is tradition. This is culture. Like saying like, people 500, 1,000, 2,000 years ago did not live in this age. Maybe they didn't understand what the implications of our reality would be. Maybe there should be a revision of the understanding of what is acceptable. Pippi is stealing pieces of wood. She's a silly dog. She's been really chewy. An absolute monster. She destroys everything. Friends, I'm going to skip to the present moment with you. You high as shit, son. So you smoke or eat. I smoked a bowl. Hey, we actually have Tate here with us. Actually, we don't have that many comments. Maybe I can actually read these. Don't have to skip through them. Makes me even happier. Smoke or eat, probably both. No, I just had like this much of a bowl. I don't know if that's a lot of these marijuanas. Maybe we'll have some more. Chamaskanas. Yo. It's a beautiful experience to be alive, to be present, and to be be allowed, moments like these. Like, I feel I could have never done anything worthy of so much love. And yet, she may feel the same way. Or rather, she would laugh at me if she heard me say that. Be like, what do you mean, dude? We're just friends. We're just little friends. Are you a friend? Mash, 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 mash. Yeah. Call you man's best friend for a reason. For a reason. Mm. Love you to bits, little thing. But we long stockings. Probably both. That's some deep thoughts. I'm happy that you're tuning in, friend. Thank you for joining us. Inhuman is the coolest kind of weird there is. Oh yes, it is, friend. Oh yes, it is. And I've been thinking. So hopefully, within the next few months, we'll be allowed to have experience drinking cactus juice that we'll make ourselves, and it's going to be it's a long experience. Like it lasts like 10 to 12 hours, I believe, up to like 14 hours. So I was like thinking, I was like stressing, like, oh, will I be able to have an experience like this? Because, I have to come and stream. And I was just imagining, coming into the stream and just sitting in silence because I'll be too scared to say something and embarrass myself. But why do I care? I embarrass myself all the time. So I was like, yeah, that makes sense. Thank you. Cheers to you, friend. So the first intention was to be good to ourselves. My mind's fractal is like, be bad to yourself. I'm like, no, no, thank you. But maybe, mm, hmm, be like a bee. Yeah, thank you, little bee. I'll take it. I'll take it. The intention is to be like a bee, and then we're gonna go and dance, friends, because I have to say thank you for our Patreon supporters. Although I'll probably like read some more comments. Although being a dog would be chill as hell too. Being human is the coolest kind of weird there is. It is all beautiful. Every single life, equal in significance and greatness. Eden, it really is that way. Y'all think that weed kind of overrated? I think we should legalize acid and crack. Not gonna lie. Narcosist. I think maybe if everything gets legalized and we have proper systems of distribution plus regulation on quantities that get given out, to people, proper education of dosage, proper education of how these things affect your, psychology, your neurology, your, inner, hormonal systems, and then having like a proper understanding of what you're doing to yourself, how these effects can be mitigated by actually allowing yourselves times in between these experiences instead of becoming, patternly addicted to them. There is so much harm reduction we can do. It's not about the substance. The substance is just like a little shape. It's like a chair. If people were actively using chairs to like smash it over people's heads because like every single time they got into holding a chair and they were like, yeah, this chair could really, fuck someone up, and then they get into an environment where there's a chair and there's a person and they just like hit people with it. The chair isn't the problem. I know that analogy is being stretched a little bit, but that molecule is just a shape, like a chair is a shape. It's like a fundamental idea, and that idea can be experienced as information through your being. And if you get attached to a certain idea, you don't allow yourself any change, you don't allow yourself to melt, then that calcification happens, that, breaking instead of flowing with happens. And it's not the substance is the problem, friend. I'm not encouraging crack. Like, I feel crack is what cooked cocaine, right? Cocaine in the first place has been, like, extracted from the cocoa leaf. The way that cocoa leaves were used, I believe, is the closest where, actual cocaine use should be bordering, where it's like microdosing. The amount of excess that people use in pretty much everything these days is what's the craziest thing. And again, it's because of miseducation. The streamers on Haywire Hill were all just depicted in my mind as the different musicians in the Outer Wilds, which, if anyone hasn't heard of or played, it's beautiful. I think I have heard of the Outer Wilds. Melt, melty, trippy space mystery exploration, calming experience. It is, and like, not only is it like a space explorer type of experience, everything is very small, so it's kind of surreal in the scale. Everything feels like very disproportionate, but you can still make sense of it. And it's a very surreal experience. You get to see into a different infinity. It very much is a beautiful game. Ain't nothing like we know. It definitely isn't. I hope everyone has a fantastical day. Thank you, Mariah. Hey, Heather, thank you for joining us as well. You do you. I'd put all my life's belonging on yes. If I could have every person take a hike on mushrooms and then meditate for just one time, I know we'd have less darkness. I agree with that, Brother Bear. And I think we're moving into that age now. Like, previously, in the age of the initial psychedelic up revolution, I don't know if that's the correct terminology or way to say it, but anyway, there was so much misinformation happening at the same time, right? Like, just think about you know what? You can speculate. All of the infinities that would have been conjured up in an age where there's no verification of information. Now we have a system where we can verify information and we can see different fractals, we can see different perspectives. We have access to all of infinity. And we also have access to means of educating ourselves externally about something that does a lot to us internally. And because of this, uprising of the technical, and you can even say that the reason we had this technical uprising is because of the psychedelic use in Silicon Valley, during those prehistoric, or not prehistoric, like more like initial phases of the silicon explosions, right? It's that, like, psychedelic mindset. And like Terence McKenna said something very beautifully, where it's like the mushrooms are trying to beam beam blueprints to intergalactic, spaceships into your brain. And I was like, yeah, that's interestingly enough, every single time psychedelic becomes, a little bit more legalized and we have access to these things, we want to go to space. Let's go to space. We're gonna go to space. Space. Gotta go to space. Blessings to you, Jumpin' Jumanji. Thank you for joining us, friend. It's nice to have you here. It's 4:20, and while we may still be alive, our souls are sentenced to damnation. Looks for joy. Thank you for joining us, Corey. It's so nice to have you here. Tate, Brother Bear, such a pleasure having you here on this momentous day with us. Thank you for sharing some love. Hey, little dude, what's your name? Do you have names in the bird species? I do hope so. Cheepity cheep cheep, maybe. What? I shouldn't say stuff like that. I'm sorry, dude. I didn't mean to offend. Working out for Portugal. I suppose. I get it, dude. Get jacked. Get jacked for you. Don't get jacked for anyone else. Hey man, first time here. Not sure what is going on, but I love your positive vibe. We need more people like you. Fit savings. Thank you for joining us, friend. You are more people like me. Like all you see in me is stuff that's in you, friend. I'm just a reflection of what you are. So thank you for being that friend. Go and share you with the world as well. You got that light. Hey, friend, so glad you stumbled upon this space. Stay a while, hang out. He does this daily, just getting together, conversating. It's been a great thing for me. I hope to see you again. Thank you so much for the love. I appreciate that so much, my friend. Thank you, Isaac. Genuinely for the day. Have a great 420, friend. I'm not sure if I'll see you again today, but have a great 420 melt and friends. I think I'm going to sit in the sun for a bit and just think. Much love, Mel. Kartha, you got this, friend. I hope you have an explosion of ideas in your mind. Have a great 420. Thank you so much, Shannon, for that as well, friend. Happy 420, just stopping by to say hi. The Pope, thank you for saying hi, friend, for sharing some love. So nice of you, both of you. It gives me hope whenever I see people discussing such things with such perspective. Love and peace to you as well. Thank you so much for that savings. Your love is really seen and is so beautiful, friend. Thank you. Like I just to share with you, understanding that we shared in the space, like the way that you use words is like the biggest reduction of all of your beingness, right? Like you have all of this fractal of experience inside of you and inner thoughts and life experience and belief systems and stuff, and then the way that you express that comes out of you in a creative way, and your creativity is going to try and experience a feeling that you can make someone feel the way that you feel, and the way that you made me feel makes me feel that you feel amazing, friend, and you being willing to share that with us is so beautiful, so thank you for that. What MBTI type are you? The protagonist, friend, Robert. I don't know what the letters are, but it's the little dude with the sword. That's what my brain attached to the fractal. It's like, look, little dude with a sword. I'm like, oh, okay. I don't want to have a sword. What am I gonna do with a sword? And it's like, no, the sword is a metaphor. Oh, okay. Say more words. Say more words, please. Uh, we have to listen to ourselves fundamentally. Like those are just lies we tell ourselves to reveal truths about ourselves, right, Robert? Thank you for asking that, Fred. Reunification, all become one. Images of the Borg run through my mind. Stop it, brain. I mean, please don't think about any of that stuff, Corey. You are very valued in this community. Brain goes. I expect that you would smoke weed or disappointed that you didn't. I did, Fred. Thank you for joining us, Minnesota Squarehead. I'm just not ceaselessly smoking weed. There's a respect that needs to be maintained. Happy 420 to you, Tahoe Dream. Thank you for joining us. It's nice to see you both. You as well, Galablanza. Thank you for joining us, friend. Peace, love, and marijuana all around. Happy 420, everyone. Thank you so much, Tahoe, for joining us. How are you doing? Meowdy to you, Savina. Thank you for joining us, friend. It's so nice having you here. I don't know if you've seen, but there is a new show on Netflix that's called Battle Kitty, and it's both bad and amazing at the same time. But it's interesting more from a technological and idea perspective, and that's why I feel interested by it. If anything, I look forward to what we're going to do in the future, friends. Let me just say it that way. Talking about future beautiful beings, high quality humans, Uncle Becky, as he is right now, he will continue to be. Uncle Becky, thank you for joining us. The all seeing upvote of the love. So much love can be shared. Thank you so much for the day. Glad to see you. How's it hanging this a fine morning? Hey there. Thank you for the love at the day. Genuinely. Gavity go for the love as well. Thank you so much. I just got here from a guy called Poop Crayon in the stream. What the fuck did I walk into? Friend, there is all of infinity, you know. You get to choose. You get to experience all of it. You get to learn from all of it. Apology. It's nice to have you here. Just got off your stream, first time on both. Just walked into this best place ever. How's it going? Oh, thank you. Who needs tears? So much love to you, friend. It's nice to have you here. South African? I am from South Africa, Greg. Mm. If they ever make the R2, RDR2 into a film, I'd cast Melty as John Marston. I Red Dead Redemption 2 into a film, maybe. Maybe. That would be pretty cool. You know, could I pull off being a cowboy? I'm imagining the clinking of my elaborate boots. Goodness, am I giving myself away? First thing I think about is my elaborate boots. I'm gonna be the gayest cowboy ever. Man, I would want to look good as a cowboy. You know, like if you're gonna have to dress up like a cowboy, you're gonna. I'm gonna like get the most out of that. Like, and I feel like we want to, right? Like, and I imagine, you know, our future is going to be so much, you know, more melty. Everything is going to be like moment to moment. Like things are going to be even more ceaseless. There's going to be more information projected into your brain than ever. Or just you're going to be aware and there's going to be more information around you and you're going to perceive more information. It's not, uh, you know what? It's you. Oh, thank you for the love, friend. Late AF, but 420. Thank you for joining us. Bacon potato. It's very much in the fashion, friend. You're doing perfectly. You're right in line. Never played the game, unfortunately. I haven't either, but I would like to. Intervention by Pop Pop. Missing out, man. Sending loves to you. Thank you, friend. Weed from Ready Farms. Love to you gives me love to banana and fruit cup too. Thank you so much for the love you're sharing, friends. Million love bombs. You know what? I don't even have to share it. I want to, you know. No, I won't. Love and light to all of you. Thank you, Mariah. Love and light to you as well, friend. Sitting and breathing is almost like its own high for me. I freaking love just sitting, especially with trees around, and just breathing fully like a pump. Imagining the trees are pulling the air out of my lungs and giving it back. If I can attach more fractals in your brain, Isaac, to think about, try to imagine the turbulence that your, you know, out breath is creating in the world as well, right? And how that like influences all of that turbulence, all of that information being experienced. Again, if a butterfly's little wing flap can create tsunamis or hurricanes at the other side of the world, what can you do? How much can you do? I love you. We love you all, friends. Thank you so much, on B, for joining us as well. So nice having you here with us. You're late, Sovina. You're never late. You are only present. Sovina is like, hey, hey, hey. We've been having a vibe without you this whole time. I prefer nature, but it's also love to watch people. We love to have you here. Thank you for spending a moment watching people a little bit on B. Boop. Good morning. So much love is being shared. Happy 420 to you. Thank you, Spence. I don't think I've seen your username before, friend, but I love you and I appreciate you. Thank you for joining us. Are you gonna celebrate? What are you smoking on, friend? What do you think? I live alone, Melty. Nobody to hit with a chair. Yeah, that's what it is. You know, it's the only way to curb the rage. Just make sure you have nobody to hit, to hit with chairs. Thank you for that, Samina. I didn't see you there. Hello, dearest. So much love is being shared. Thank you, friends. Goodness, you're here for the cactus juice. Excited for you, friend. Just be here. Be yourself. It'll be beautiful. I'm sure it will be, my friend. Like the thing I'm most worried about, cactus juice being stronger, because this particular fractal of the plant, had a particular fractal of nutrients, with a particular fractal of sun patterning, with a particular fractal of Christian growing up with this fractal, this like cactus growing literally next to him, and he never knew about it. He never knew this cactus is a psychedelic cactus. And just, like I'm just imagining all of these layers, and I'm like, yes, an adequate dose. And then I don't know how to read anymore. I don't know how to press buttons. My title to start streaming is Maybe it'll be perfect that way even. It's like, yes, melt, yes. Melt is melting. You could actually live up to the name, Ben. Thank you. Thank you so much, Brother Bear. I appreciate your love, Isaac, genuinely. How are you again? Fruit Cup says, Ugag, you split gargle sounds. Thank you. Thank you for your divine creation. We appreciate you so much, Fruit Cup. I love it so much. Me too. Thank you, Lisa. Smooches to Fruit Cup. So much love. Bless you. Thank you so much, Shannon. I appreciate that, friend. Yeah, my little cricket. That means feed me. Give me that. Give me that yum yum. My beautiful late friends. Banana is Mr. Mom. The past day and a half, I literally can't do anything because they mangled my hand yesterday with painful injections. He's been doing so good, though. A real natural. Send him some love. He needs it. So, two interpretations. Either a nuclear blast, end of the world, death and destruction, or it's a mushroom utilizing that which was no longer useful and creating a new expression of life, building a network that can assemble individual packets of information that can be its new replication. Corey is experiencing both right now, feeling like he's getting destroyed, but also growing more than ever. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the encouragement again. Please do share our beloved Corey some love. Our Ninja Nanner. The world of thorns. The world of thorns planet was so spooky. You fly into a tiny seed just bigger than your ship, and entire foggy infinity wormholes lie within. What? Nani? What are you talking about, Isaac? I love what you just said, but it's like just in my brain. I have no thing to connect it to. Ninja Nanner, friend, I'm seriously so proud of you. It's not easy, and effort is so beautiful. Thank you for your love and for your effort as well, Auntie. Like, because you know. Yeah! I love it. You guys are the best. Proud of your teamwork. Sending strength to Corey and healing to you. Oh, strength to Corey and healing to you. You said it yourself, dude. Stop it. Stop it, Isaac. Stop it. No doubt you will gracefully prance over this hurdle. Slowly, with my mycelium networks growing through all of it. Our poor Peach. I hope the hand feels better soon. Wish I could pop over to hug and help. Yay. Banana Mr. Mom of the Year. We watched a documentary yesterday of extreme seasons. Glad, felt like I was stripping. Extreme seasons, like just like watching, weather in like different places. Oh yeah, I'm sorry, Peach. I was focused on Nan and Dad, but Nan and Dad, I like that one as well. I hope you find rest and healing. Thank you so much. I'm sure she will. Like the region of the reg. Why can't I say that word? Rejuvenation. I had to practice it in my mind first. How's that for words? Yes, thank you, brain. I appreciate your help. And the strength. like an absolute nuclear blast in Corey's willpower to be able to push through any of the difficulties. Great start though. Mel's muscles be like, thank you. Thank you for the love. I appreciate it. Trying, like genuinely just like exercising because if I'm lighter, it's easier to hold a crow pose. It's easier to do handstand, like mile. I don't even think they're push ups. They're just like flexion and extensions. Like it's so hard to keep myself up. I wanna start, getting strong enough to be able to do these things. So thank you, friend. I appreciate your encouragement and love as well. With the run in that, with the fun in that. Yes, that's it, Melty. Reddit Redemption 2. Thank you so much, my friend, just for making sure. Why did I read R2D2? I was trying to read R2D2. That's the interesting thing for me. But I was forcing myself to actually read what was like there, and I was like, where does that fractal connect? And like at least could infer a little bit. Cause you're avatars nerd, Star Wars. Why did I read avatars? Star Wars, a nerd like me, probably. That's the little fractal you had already. I immediately came to Jasmine Fox in Django Unchained when you said that about being a cowboy. I love it so much. Thank you so much. Thank you for the blessings. I appreciate it, RB. I hope I'm not being offensive. Am I being offensive? Let me know. Like, please let me know. I'm more than willing to learn from my mistakes. Oh goodness, I have to look that up. Those kinds of documentaries always take me to another place. Literally, you literally get to see another infinity, another fractal. Oh, the fractals of nature are so insane. Yes, yes, I love it. Oh, it's so beautiful. Nailed it. Yes, you did. I always imagined my exhale as being what puts my intention into the world. Literally exhaling it into the universe. Yo, that is rad. Thank you. Now I have that as well. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for that. But mom, thank you for the love. I appreciate that. Anyone want to come over this weekend? I have an old computer chair to get rid of. Like initially it's like, yeah, I would like to help you get rid of this computer chair. And then you walk in and Sylvina just has like a extremely menacing look in her eye. Sorry. I'm sorry for that. And you'll realize that the way that she's gonna get rid of the chair isn't going to be by giving it to you. She's gonna get rid of the chair by giving it to you. Oh goodness! Savina, suddenly my danger sensor just went off. Oh no. Hello to you, Lilio. Thank you for joining us. It's nice to have you here. Cantaloupe, Cantaloupe girlfriend, thank you for joining us. Ha! Scrolling through, and I found this guy again. So rad. What a great vibe this guy has. Oh, thank you. Every time I see this guy, you can't help but smile. Keep it up. Thank you, Fred. Thank you for making me smile. I appreciate that. Love to you. So much love. So much love to you, friends. If you want to help ensure Melt can contribute showing up and we can all melt more, check out his incredible internet intentional artwork at Melt More's Patreon. Thank you. Thank you so much, Aunt V. I appreciate that. We do have a Patreon. So puts on salesman hat. Do you like pretty things? You do. I like making pretty things. And one of the most prettiest of things in this universe to me are flowers. So I've started intentionally making flowers from my current day's attire slash the place that I was in slash the fractal that I found myself in that moment in that day. And I do it alongside a patterning system that goes from 1 to 9 and then following that pattern over and over again. So to cut the long story short, I share daily works of art. That is like a flower that I provide to you as the other side of the infinity. You literally get to see a flower that has never been seen before. And I get to make a flower that has never grown before. I mean, maybe within infinity it has, but I get to elicit it back from that infinity. And you friends get to share that experience with me. Thank you so much. No, I appreciate it. No chill necessary at all, Aunt P. Thank you for the love. But you words, I love it. My guy, you are high as fuck, and I love it. Thank you, Suki. I don't think I'm that high. You might think otherwise, but I had like 2 bowls. I smoked 2 bowls of marijuanas, so I'm definitely feeling it. But I feel like I'm on the tail end of it again. I do need to go and dance. Princess Monin, okay. Thank you for joining me. Unfortunately, I'm working today. Suki, I will, smoke for you. You can live vicariously through me. Huh? Hello, Evers. Hello, Ever Knievers. I'm sorry, my hands are cold. I know. I know my hands are cold, Ever Keys. Mash, 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 mash. Mash, mash, keys. Mash, mash, mash. Mash, mash, mash. Of course, now you little jellyfish. Little jelly. Chasing Eva away. I believe it was the northernmost part of the world, and you seriously have to watch it. I'll find a link. Thank you for the encouragement. I appreciate that on being allowing us to see more. Bro, I would love to watch you on Below Deck. Do you have any yachting experience? No, Pete on Earth. I do not have any yachting experience, friend. But if you want to give me a yacht so I can get some yachting experience, hit me up, friend. Like in a heartbeat, please. I said the same. Banana say perhaps he's a bit more stoned than usual. I feel we're just, tuning into this collective frequency. Like there's so many people smoking weed right now. So many people tripping on acid right now. So maybe I'm just tuning in a little bit. Thank you for being here with me. Not at all, Mel. You sneezed. Thank you for the love. Again, friend. I love this. I'm always releasing tension and negative thoughts, which are cleansing, but now I'm really thinking on this. Whoa, whoa. Thank you. Thank you, friend. Thank you for allowing yourself that moment. Just for spending a moment and thinking. Thinking again about your significance and your impact on this whole. Like you deserve that. It's up to you. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Horizon. It's nice to have you here, friend. Fun stream today. Gotta run though. Love to you. Thank you for joining us, Javan. Sending love to you, my friend. I think we're done as well now. I need to go and dance. Dude is going to manifest a yacht. Just watch. Yes, Pete. Yes, we are. It's not just gonna be me. You're manifesting it too, Pete. That's how it works, friend. That's how it works. This is how we do it. One day at a time, not expecting anything, but knowing that anything is possible. Believing that about you as well, friend. I love and appreciate you. Okay, I'm going to end this stream and then I'm going to be starting my next stream and I will be doing an attitude of gratitude stream for you friends. If anyone could, it'll be Melt. We're gonna see it happen, Ninja Nanner. That's gonna be the trip of it. Day by day, moment by moment, we're going to manifest a reality for ourselves. And we're going to be allowed to see it. And it's gonna be beautiful. And I'm so grateful to be able to share it with beautiful beings like yourself. How could I be more blessed than to have you here in this moment? Thank you. Friends, I'm going to be dancing in a bit. I look forward to seeing you there. Please do join me. We're doing it. We're freaking doing it right now, Pete. We're doing it right now. It's happening. It's there somewhere in infinity. And now because we've recognized that part of ourselves, we're stepping, climbing that mountain, going through that fractal a little bit at a time. I love you, friends. I appreciate you. See you in a bit. See you in a bit, friends. So much love to you. Thank you.